Today, we are cracking the code on some seriously ancient wisdom. We're going to look at how these simple sayings from the Pashto language, some of them are just a few words long, are actually packed with these deep, surprising, and really powerful stories about culture, philosophy, and life itself. Okay, so let's just start with a bit of a puzzle. Here's a proverb from the Pashto language. A broken hand lies in the neck. Now, at first glance, you might think, okay, that makes sense. If your arm is broken, you'd wear a sling around your neck. But what is it really trying to tell us? Just let that sink in for a second. If we go beyond the obvious physical thing, what could that deeper lesson possibly be? What does a broken hand being supported by the whole body actually represent? Well, to answer that, we're diving into some fantastic research by Mohammed Mustafa Safa and Mohammed Amin Hemant. Their work gives us this amazing look into the true meaning behind these incredible cultural treasures. All right, so here's the key to unlocking these proverbs. You have to know that they almost always operate on two different levels. There's what they say on the surface, and then there's what they really mean. And this is backed up by literary researcher Raj Wali Shah Katak, who puts it perfectly. He says they're simple in form, but deep in meaning. So their simplicity is totally deceptive. These aren't just some quaint old sayings. They are full-on philosophies, where there is always more than meets the eye. Okay, so let's circle back to that first proverb, because this duality is absolutely crucial. On the left, the literal meaning is super clear. But look at the right side, the figurative meaning. The broken hand isn't just a limb. It's a member of society who's struggling, or maybe has even done something wrong. And the neck? Well, that's the rest of us, the community, who has a responsibility to support that person until things are figured out. I mean, wow, that's a profound statement on our collective responsibility, right? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. A lot of these proverbs aren't just abstract ideas. They are often the punchline to these great little short stories that have been passed down for generations, and that's what makes the lessons so unforgettable. Let's look at another one. This one sounds pretty funny on its own. Donkey's love is kicking people. It seems like such a weird thing to say, right? But it actually comes from a very memorable little story. So the story goes something like this. A farmer had a dog that would greet him every day with all this gentle, playful affection. And the farmer's donkey saw this, and, it wanted to be loved too, so it decided to copy the dog. But a donkey's way of showing affection is a little different. It trotted up to the farmer to play and gave him a massive kick, with some pretty disastrous results. And that just brilliantly illustrates the proverb's true meaning. It's a warning. Right? It's about how a foolish person, even with the absolute best intentions, can end up causing some serious harm just because they don't have the wisdom to see the consequences. The donkey genuinely thought it was being loving. So these little stories are just a fantastic way to make a lesson stick. But not every proverb needs a whole backstory to get its point across. Some of the most powerful wisdom is packed into just a single, self-contained sentence. A complete life lesson in just a few words. And just look at the sheer range of wisdom here. Let's unpack a couple. Until the baby cries, its mother gives it no milk. That's a super direct practical lesson. You have to speak up and ask for what you need. Then you've got something with a much sharper political edge. The water has fouled at the source. That's not about your plumbing. It's basically saying that when things are going wrong in a community, you should probably look at who's in charge. And others are powerful reminders about just taking responsibility, like the one who walks carelessly will have a bad fall. Each one is this complete, compact little guide to life. So, when you put all of this together, what does it really tell us? Well, these sayings aren't just clever phrases. They are a direct, totally unfiltered window into the core values and worldview of the Pashtun people. There's so much more than words. The research really describes them as a shared cultural heritage. It's like an expression of Pashtun identity, where big ideas like bravery, honesty, and respect, they aren't just abstract concepts. They're literally woven into the fabric of everyday language. But this brings us to the final and honestly the most urgent point that the researchers make. This entire library of wisdom, it's fragile. Yeah, the researchers are sounding an alarm here. This incredible oral tradition is actually at risk. As the world changes and younger generations move to cities, there's a very real danger that this profound cultural heritage could just fade away. So what's the solution they propose? It's actually a pretty simple but powerful one. To protect this heritage, it needs to be shared. By translating these proverbs into major world languages, this incredible wisdom can be preserved, it can be studied, and it can be appreciated by literally everyone. And as the source material concludes, this act of translation is just essential for global understanding. It's about way more than just saving words on a page. It's about making sure this unique literary heritage survives for all the generations to come. So, this leaves us with a final thought. We've seen just how much incredible meaning is packed into these phrases, and it makes you wonder, right? Every single culture has its own proverbs, its own hidden wisdom. What are the sayings you grew up hearing that you think the rest of the world really needs to hear?